Now we've got a really nice startup. Listen to this. Really sweet, no starter drag. We did show this on the walk around video. This is the clutch fluid. As you see, it's just really dark and low. This is because it's leaking, and it's pretty noticeable from the inside of the car. I'll take the light and show you. This is a telltale sign that your clutch master cylinder is showing the issue. There you go. I've shown this a million times just for you guys that haven't seen it. Not only is it greasy there, you can see it actually dripping. And the sad thing is Honda replaced the buttons. You can see one of the buttons there. And then if the brake was done, there's the brake, which doesn't look like it was changed. It's still got a yellow look to it. So it looks like they only replaced the one on the clutch. Well, Honda should have noticed that on the Master. This is what it should look like. Having a little bit of a grease around there is fine. It comes new and it has like a yellowish grease. There is a ton of these on the market. This is the only one I would recommend use. It's the Honda Master, and it's made by a company called Nissan right there. You can see that clear on the side. Sometimes you'll see this on eBay, and they're copying these. They're engraving this, they're painting them, they're putting stickers on them, and they're fake, and they usually will cause issues before you even get started. So don't use any of the aftermarket ones. Also dead giveaways when it has like a brownish reddish cap. These are really easy to get to. Clip these down. So one thing to avoid is just snapping them and letting them go like this. Usually that piece will drop in the engine bay. You'll never find it again. So put one hand under it and just kind of cushion it so that it doesn't get lost in the engine bay. All those clips off, you can lift this box lid up and see how it looks. So that looks like brand spanking new. That looks like it was possibly done on one of the last service. So we're not even going to mess around with that. There's no sense in changing it. It is done correctly. So put this down, put all your snaps back. There is one on every corner, and then the ones in the middle, make sure they're all in there. Look how gross that is. The filter for the cabin is under here, so you can pry this up. There is a fastener here that's already popped off. It's sitting under there, but we're going to replace this cowl anyway, so I'm going to take all of this off, and I think we're going to replace the windshield wipers. If they've not been done already, we can get a good look at those. Just so you don't have to guess, go ahead and mark your wipers. That way, when you put it back together, you're not laying them up there and going back and forth. So there we go. It's actually a shame, because the only thing wrong with this is just the holes. Yeah, right there. Right there. It's no good. We'll keep the clips out of this just in case the one that we get doesn't have the clips. Right here. They just slide out to the side. Always keep these for spare in case you lose it working on your other car or your friend's car. You can call them and go, hey, I got some of those in my toolbox. Always good to keep them. Anybody remember which one that long one came out of? Right here. These just slide out to the side. And again, this has been serviced at Honda, which is kind of a shame. It just means that they're not doing what you think they should be doing. And slide this forward. See if I'm doing that, disturbing all the things that are inside the filter, because it should be good content. Yikes. That's amazing that the blow motor was even working correctly. It is almost packed full. Look at that, George.
It's freaking solid.
That might be the worst one we've seen yet.
Yeah. And there's even more in there.
Yikes. So make sure you look for the orientation, how this goes. You see it's got the seal. Make sure you keep it the same way around. The seal goes obviously downwards, and you see how it assembles right here. It can only go in one way. You're going to lift these tabs up to remove the filter, but this, I think we're going to go ahead and give this thing just a quick wash before we put the new filter in there. There you go. Cleaned all of that housing out, dried it nicely. Now you can breathe easy knowing we changed the filter. I just took a picture of that so I can put it up on Instagram to remind you guys to change your filter. Let's put the new cap on. You can see how much difference that is from the old cap. The old cap gets a yellow tinge to it just with age. So that is done. The cowl, I've got a new one coming. I'll show you that when it gets here. We're going to go ahead and refinish that. Next thing to do is the oil and trans and diff. Let's do the oil, show you what condition it looks like. I've seen the S2000 shirt already in the store now, lhtperformance.com. We have them in blue and we have them in charcoal. And right now, fresh off the press, we have the LHT hoodie with the same print. 6 print color, and it's absolutely beautiful. S2000 fans, check it out, lhtperformance.com. So we've done many videos about oil changes, but you know what, I can't tell you how important it is. So I just got to keep reminding you. Right here is the oil drain. I mean, it's conveniently marked right there, engine oil. And then right above it is the oil filter. So we sell an oil change kit in the store, which just makes it easy. It's going to come with a new filter. It comes with a new crush washer, which is this right here. It's a little washer behind your drain bolt. It includes that. Use a closed end wrench or a socket. That way you're not going to damage that bolt. And back up in case it sprays all over the camera like it once did on Mike's Camaro. If you saw that episode, you know what I'm talking about. Ruined the camera. Actually looks really nice. Yeah. It's still pretty clear. Let me get the light behind it. It's probably not that old, but like I said, we're doing everything. We want everything to be zeroed out. That's why we're doing it. We'll show you when it drains out. The transmission, that is the fill right there. That is the drain. Drain, same thing, comes with a little crush washer. This comes with a crush washer too. You're going to drain this by the lower one, and then once it's finished dripping, put the bolt back in, and then you're going to fill it via this one and fill it till it just starts to come out. Differential, same way. Drain and fill. This is usually pretty interesting looking at the fluid coming out, and there is a magnetic piece on the bottom of the drain. So it's a good idea to check that. It gives you an indication how the diff is looking. Bye.
Bye. Say bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
In the middle of recording, that's all right.
Sorry.
The recording light is on. So that is actually really clean. Look at that. So this would usually have little tiny fragments on it. So there's a million fluids that you can put in your differential, and everybody will tell you which one is the best. Even if you don't ask them, they'll still tell you which one is the best. This is the one that we believe is the best because our good friend Ben from PuttyBod recommends it. He builds more differentials than anybody I know. One of the important things right here, it does include the slip friction modifier. Some of the other fluids don't talk about that, and you'll get a noise from your differential, and you can even wear out the differential and cause damage. You have to buy that separate and add it to it. This comes included, and the 75-140 adds a little bit more shock protection to it. So this is what I run in my car. This is what we run in your car if you bring it. So this is what I'm going to put in the flip car. These are the crush washers that were removed, reinstalled, and everything. There's the brand new one. If you get the oil filter kit from us, it's going to come with an oil filter and a new sealing washer. This is probably one of our favorite tools. This is like version 4. We built a lot of these to come up with this design. This is the perfect tool to get your oil filter off. Designed for the OEM filter. It's not just about removing the filter, it's about tightening it correctly. And I'll show you that here in a minute when this one comes off. Honda do want this tightening to a certain spec. In the Honda book, this talks about how to torque your filter correctly. This is the wrench that Honda had. We used to sell this wrench. It sucks. We designed ours based on having so many issues with this. Ours grabs a larger portion of it and it doesn't slip off like this one. So these numbers here correspond with the numbers on your filter. We also have the numbers on our wrench. These numbers are reversed for a reason. Let's show you this first. So you're going to line this up with any particular area of the motor. Let's say you're going to start off with, you're going to line up with 2. You're going to spin it all the way around to 1. If you're going to start with 3, you spin it all the way around until it lines up with number 2. Essentially, you're doing 7/8 of a turn. It shows you the sequence right here. They also give you a torque spec on the filter, which I believe is 16, right there, 16 foot-pounds. Torque wrenches can be a little hokey when it comes to a low torque spec like this. I would do this right here. So when you put this on, you're going to put it on by hand, not crank it on, just put it on until it starts to get resistance, then do your 7/8 of a turn right here. So let's say we're just going to line it up with the corner of this wrench. See how this is going to go? You're going to turn this clockwise. You're going to turn it 7/8 of a turn, so you're going to stop the one number before, just like this sequence right here. And this has 3/8 drive and a hex right here, so you can use whichever tool you want. This fits absolutely fantastic. This is the tool we made for removing the caps. So a lot of people will say, hey, I can remove the cap, they're not that hard. You can. Problem is you don't tighten them enough, the cap falls off and it goes down the back of the motor. We see so many cars come in with an aftermarket cap, and then when we do a clutch, we find the cap on top of the transmission. So you got to make sure you put a little bit of tighten on this. It just makes it easier to take it off with our tool. And same thing, just to tighten it with the tool. Don't go crazy, just enough to stop it falling off and going down back of the motor. Another part of our oil change kit is the funnel. This is the best funnel. Unfortunately, right now we're low on stock of these, so we've took them out of the store until we catch up with stock. They're available with the oil change kit because it's what makes the oil change kit so good. This is one of the beauties of this funnel. You can pour the oil and you don't have that glug. It doesn't spray back in your face and get all over the engine bay. Clutch is done on flywheel. We showed you that already. Oil, trans, diff, air filter is good, cabin filter has been replaced. The radiator doesn't really show signs of any problems. I just cracked the cap here, so you see it looks like it's leaking. It's just where I cracked the cap to check the fluid. This looks like the original radiator, and these are notorious for getting fine spider cracks and then the crimp over here. Over time and mileage, they tend to fail. So we have a super low mileage radiator, and it's a factory OEM radiator and dual fans. These fans are not bad, but again, 102,000 miles. We have a radiator and fan combo with less than 10,000. This is it, brand spanking new. Well, it's not new, it's just very, very clean, low mileage. So we're gonna install this in there. Fans are new, look at this, doesn't have any kind of damage on the fins, no signs of cracking. Just a really clean radiator right here. And of course we'll put new coolant in there and bleed the system. Looks like an aftermarket motor. See how it bolts on? It bolts on a different way. It's a different looking motor. And then it's got the crimps on there. That's a good reason just to change it right there. This is our super mint radiator and fan. It's the genuine fan. You see the difference right there? This is like a universal. It's pretty clever. Bolts on, it probably uses the same blade and the same housing. You just put the motor on. Nothing beats the factory Honda one, especially knowing that it's a really low mileage one. New radiator is in, fans are in, everything is looking perfect. The hoses are in good shape, by the way. That's why we're not replacing them. They're nice and supple. This is our bleeder bucket. It makes life so much easier. We might consider bringing this back in the store soon. Keep an eye on our store. If you see it, click notify me and it will let you know when it comes back in stock. Okay, so time for bleeding. Switch your heat to full. Bring it up one notch. You don't want to go more than that, because what this will essentially do is cool the air down and take longer to heat up. Kept calling it 103,000 miles. It's only 102. It's a spring chicken. Neutral waggle. Clutch down. Listen to that starter. That thing is beautiful. Clutch feels amazing. Look at that. Nothing like a new factory Honda clutch with everything new. You saw the console. Look how nice that looks. It looks absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to start getting into this, taking all this apart, cleaning this, refinishing this. I have a new steering wheel. I'm waiting for it to come in. It's an almost brand spanking new steering wheel. I'm going to swap that out. This is going to look fantastic. Refinish this. Actually, this is just going to be cleaner. This is that preservation cheese we're going to clean off and then dress it. It will come up like brand new. Trust me, you're going to be amazed how good this looks. So by putting it on number 1, you'll be able to feel the heat come through the vents. Let's watch our bleeder bucket in action. This is a game changer. We've tried everything with these things. We have the vacuum tool that sucks down the whole coolant system. Believe it or not, this works better. We use this every single day. The vacuum tool sits in the box. So this is going to help burp out the air coming through here. This, even though you don't see any water coming out right now, there is a little bit of air coming out here. It's allowing the air to escape. By angling it this way, this is the highest point of the motor. This is all done deliberately for it to work correctly. This helps burp out the air. That's why you're seeing the air come out of here, not the water, because it's actually sitting in here. This just allows the air to pass through here. It works absolutely fantastic. Saves us a ton of time. You will see a little bit of fluid coming out of there, not much, but you'll see the air come out of here. Let's bring the RPMs up a little bit. So monitor everything. Check your upper and lower hose. You're going to feel the top hose start to get warm. Even though it's tough to get down there, you want to feel the bottom hose. That's going to let you know the thermostat is open. Also feel this hose right here. This is your heater hose. This one is already getting hot. This bleeds out so quick. I could almost do this live. This also, once it's all clean, this will come up like $1,000,000. This is going to be such a change under here. That's why we're leaving this till last. First off, we're doing all the maintenance and all the dirty work, and when it's clean, this will really come together. I'm not sure how if this will come up at all, but the dash flickers ever so tiny bit, if that's even a word. It's probably not going to show up because filming LEDs with a shutter speed, unless you go to a much different shutter speed, it will look like the dash is flashing, but it's almost like a slight blinking. Which, we've got a voltmeter on the battery. That is sometimes signs of a battery or even an alternator. So idling, we're showing 1340. 1330 to 1340. Yeah, go ahead. We don't have any headlights in. Yeah, our headlights are not here. Yeah, it drops down to 1290, 1292, 1288. So that should compensate that, shouldn't it? Regulator? ELDO?
Yeah,
ELD.
You got to do it when you have a load off the motor.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely comes back up once you turn the AC off. That's something we'll look into. Once we find that out, we'll let you know. But it's not bad. It's just, I'd say flickering. It's not blinking. That was the word I was looking for, flickering. But right now it's dropped down to 13.2.
I feel like it should charge at least 13.5, 13.6.
Yeah.
And the ELD usually turns up to like 14.3 when you see it.
Unload, yeah. That's something we'll look into. Right now we're just waiting for the fans to come on. It's still burping out air. The nice thing about this, you can actually see it in this hose right here. Once we see the fan cycle, we'll check the temperature. It's not burping any air out now.
I turned the fan off inside here, it's not the heat, so that'll help it too.
Yeah, because that, I just mentioned that video, that will act like a radiator itself.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool day today, so it's not warming up as fast as it would usually. still getting a few bubbles. Looking at the live data, this is the short-term, long-term trim. That's really good. It's sitting -3 on the long term. Pretty much anything within 10 is acceptable. You know, +10, -10, you want to see it move. That is actually really good. We're still planning to do plugs on this and a valve adjustment. Intake air 131. Did I skip past the coolant? There it is. 205. Fan should be coming on here in a minute.
205?
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's bring the RPMs up. See if those trims move. .207. How good those trims are. 208. It's taking forever to warm up.
There it is.
I hear them. See how long they take to turn off. Pretty quick. Very efficient fans. Very quiet fans too. So we should be good. What we're going to do is let it run a little bit more, make sure we get all the bubbles out of it, and then close the system, let it run again. Once it's ran, heated, and cooled a couple of times, then you want to check your reservoir, bring that up to the max level. This is for the brake. So they did clutch buttons on the clutch only. They charged it $400 to do 2 buttons. And the one on the brake is the easy one to get to. This is what it looks like. So George right now is cutting the old button off, which will look like a yellow look to it. There's a knife. There's the button. Why you would charge someone $400 and only do half of the job just blows my mind. It's like, I'm not ripping on Honda. It's not Honda, it's the dealership. It just irks me. You know, you guys are spending so much money. Oh, you know what? I'll take it back. We have a car outside that came from Pennsylvania for 2 very basic jobs. And he brought it all the way from Pennsylvania because he doesn't trust the dealer. That's pretty sad when you're representing such a cool car company and you can't do a good job. I mean, look at that. Why wouldn't they replace those? You see it's yellow. That would fail. Can you imagine spending all that much money? And then you find out that the brake lights stay on, and then Honda say, well, you need a button for that too. They say the good news is it's not $400 for that one, it's only $200.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're getting a deal.
This one's half price. But yeah, it wouldn't have lasted much longer.
No, if you can stick your thumb in it, it's already turned to like a wax. The new one is an upgraded plastic, by the way. We found that out. It will last much longer than the 10 to 15 years, which is what the original ones seem to last. This has almost gone down. We can put the cap on here and seal up the coolant system. Radiator fans, done. So we got this part from eBay. You can get them all over the place. If you've got somebody on Facebook Marketplace maybe, or one of the forums. This one is in really good shape. I looked at the pictures. It's just kind of got that dull look to it. And there's like some kind of like squidget here. I'm gonna go ahead and refinish this. First, we gotta clean it. Get all the grease off it, scrub it, use a good detergent. And then I'll show you what we're gonna finish it with. This is gonna look 100 times better once it's done. You'll be amazed how much better this looks. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is clean this with a detergent. The detergent is not sponsored, so I'm not gonna show you the brand, but in the future, if it is, I'll show you one of our favorite chemicals to clean. So this here, we're gonna use our pressure washer and just give it a wet. That's all you need. You don't need to get it absolutely soaking wet. You don't want to pressure clean it too close because you'll distort the plastic. But right now, you're gonna put your detergent on there. and just let it sit, and then give it a scrub. Just kind of agitate it. You don't need to go crazy. You just want to make sure you get all the grease and junk off there, so when you coat it, it's going to be nice and smooth. You're not going to have any grease in there, and it's not going to come off. You want it to last. Trick is here, scrub the whole thing. Don't let it dry. Once it dries, it kind of changes and sticks back on, but scrub the whole thing and then hit it with your pressure washer again. Don't get too close to it because it will tear up the plastic. You just want to rinse it away. Let it dry all the way. The black will dry really fast. You also make sure that there's no shiny areas of grease or oil still on it. Okay, there's no shiny spots. Everything looks clean. We should be able to coat that. So when I talk about coating, this is the product right here. You can order it online, or most body shops have this. I've been using this stuff for years, but this is the best stuff I have found for plastics. The CRX we did, I think 6 years ago, we did an episode on doing the whole black plastic on the CRX. It still looks perfect today, even after doing car washes. What I'm going to do is wipe this off. There's a bit of weirdness there. Just get this grittiness off because it's been sitting outside. The wind's blowing on it. What you want to do with this stuff is do light coats. That's what you do with paint anyway, but this talks about it. You want to do several light coats. You don't want it to look like paint. You want it to look like OEM plastic, and that's the way to do it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take this out back. I'm going to use the box that it came in and use that to paint over it. That way you don't end up with a shape of this anywhere. There we go. It's a little dusty from sitting outside, but it is dry. But look how much better that looks. It literally looks like an OEM brand new part out the box. It doesn't have that weird sheen to it. It doesn't have like orange peel. It looks like just clean plastic. So use a good cleaner. If you have a detail like an all-purpose cleaner, mix it 50-50. I would tell you about our cleaner, but it's not sponsored, and I'm going to use some of these videos to try and get the sponsor from this guy so he understands we will do a good job at representing him. But for right now, use a good, in quotation, all-purpose cleaner. Guys, check out our site. One thing we just added, and I don't know why it took so long, but we now have a search feature. The more products we have added, the harder it is to find stuff. You can now go to the search feature and actually find stuff. Look at this, and it works. Look at that. We are so excited about this because you'd be amazed how much work it took to get this working. There we go, lhtperformance.com. I'm still waiting for the bumper and lip to come back from Superior. I'm going to borrow some wheels off my friend Jeff to put on so I can send these out and get them refinished. They're actually a good looking wheel. It's just some of the wheels have that like curb scratch. This one actually isn't bad. I think the back one is the worst. And they're not bad. They're just, you know, that typical, you know, bumping through curbs. Just, I think this car deserves really nicely done wheels. Seats. The leather is actually in good shape, like I showed you. It's just the bolster's blown out. This is just on the metal right here. And I don't want to take it to an interior shop and have them just stuff foam in there and make it look like a couch. This needs to be like pointed like this. It should have that shape. Talking to Mita, they have the foams, they've reproduced them. So if I can get those, we'll show you how to install those and before and after, re-dye the leather, recondition the leather, make it look fantastic. I do have a new steering wheel we're gonna put on. The airbag is perfect. It just needs to be cleaned. Interior needs to be cleaned. A few other things still to do. We're gonna try and refinish the top, make the top look better, because apart from a couple of little marks here, it's a great top. It's an OEM top. I mean, I hate to remove that top. Still a few little things to do. I want to put new spark plugs in it, adjust the lifters, clean the injectors, remove the exhaust, clean the exhaust, polish it, refinish it, make this thing look fantastic, put it on the dyno, make sure the power is where it should be, and then we're gonna have a full color correction. Make this paint really come to life. See your subscribe button, and we'll see you tomorrow.